Hello! After months of discussion and debate about the 13 novels longlisted for this year's Booker Prize, tonight the winner will be announced, and I am all suited up because, very excitingly, I've been invited along to the ceremony for this year's award, and the event will be live streamed, but as always, I thought it would be fun to take you along with me and make a little vlog showing you some behind-the-scenes stuff about the ceremony and my own personal perspective of the evening and my instant reaction to this year's winner, whoever they may be, but it will be one of these 6 novels. And last night I went to the Booker Prize reading where all of the authors were assembled for the very first time. It was really fascinating to hear them all discuss their books in a lot more detail and see them in conversation with each other. And I think it is really difficult to tell who is going to win. I made a video last week discussing how my favorites are James and Stoneyard Devotional, but honestly, I think it could be any of these books, and it's been so great seeing readers' responses that for each of the books, there are readers supporting them and rooting for them, and so it's so wonderful to see diversity of opinion like that. And honestly, I will be excited whoever wins, yes, even Anne Michaels. And I will briefly tell you why it will be exciting if any of these books win. So with Anne Michaels held, if she wins, she will be the first author to have won both the Women's Prize for Fiction and the Booker Prize. So Anne Michaels won the Women's Prize many years ago for her novel Fugitive Pieces. She was only the second author to win the Women's Prize back when it was called the Orange Prize. And so, yeah, she could be the first. So would that make her a Wooker? What would the acronym be? Like actors have the EGOT. What would an author acronym be for winning multiple prizes? Would it be the Wooker? Although Anne Michaels is also currently shortlisted for this novel for the Giller Prize, which is Canada's biggest literary prize. So if she won that as well, what would that be? Would that be a GWIB? GWIB? I don't know. What would a good acronym be? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if Samantha Harvey won, I think this would be the first Booker Prize winner to be set in outer space. So that would be an exciting thing as well. If the Safekeep wins, this will be the first Dutch author to have won the Booker Prize, although a Dutch author has won the International Booker Prize before, but not the Booker Prize itself. So that would be very exciting. If Creation Lake wins, I think this would be like one of the first kind of like spy genre books, although it's not really, as Rachel Kushner said herself, not really a spy novel in the traditional sense. That's kind of more a marketing thing. It's more about an investigator that has been disgraced, and the novel doesn't really follow the generic conventions of a typical spy novel. Although it is very thrilling and gripping and so fascinating in lots of different ways. And if Stoneyard Devotional wins, Charlotte Wood will be the first Australian author to win the Booker Prize in a decade, ever since Richard Flanagan won the Booker in 2014, so way back 10 years ago. And if Percival Everett wins the prize, this is really interesting because his new version of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn wouldn't be the first one on to have won the Booker Prize, because in 2016, Paul Beatty's novel, The Sellout, there's a section of this book where a character does a new version of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, but from from focusing on Jim's perspective. And so then if James actually wins this, it would be almost like prophetic that it was first discussed in The Sellout, this novel that won way back in 2016, and that that would be really exciting. Although Percival Everett would also be the only male author on the shortlist eligible to win this year's prize, because in this shortlist, this is the longest, the most amount of female authors that have been on the shortlist ever in the history of the prize. And so it's really difficult, because like in a way, I mean, it would almost seem sad if a man then won the prize again, and it's been quite a long time, since 2019, since a female author has won the prize. But then really it shouldn't be, about the identity of the author. It should be about the quality of the literature itself. But we will see very soon. And so I'm going to take off and get the train to the party and film what I can, and hopefully have chats with some people. I'm going to have a very special guest on here, and I am so looking forward to seeing who wins. I'm on my way to the venue, and I'm walking across London Bridge, and you can see London and Tower Bridge are looking gorgeous behind me. You can see the Shard up there. And when I left my home, I did not bring my umbrella, which is a cardinal sin if you live in London, because now it is starting to drizzle. I did check BBC weather before I left, and it said 0% chance of rain tonight. That is probably the same look I'll be giving later if Held wins the Booker Prize. But I can see the venue across the river from me, so I'm going to head into the party where hopefully it's dry. So every year, the Booker Prize does special editions of all of the 6 shortlisted novels, and these are their very special editions, which they only make one copy of these books just for the authors themselves as a gift.
Yes. I think Orbital did one as immediately obvious. Oh, yes, exactly. And then that one has changed. Right.
So I'm at the party, and I'm here with bookstagrammer, American bookstagrammer extraordinaire, and Booker Prize superfan, Bernie Lombardi. Yay! Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to London.
Thank you. I love it.
It's really exciting that you got to come over for the prize and that you're here. What do you think of the venue so far?
It's gorgeous. I was here for the International Booker, this past May.
Yeah.
This is bigger space. So
it is, yeah. So let's get into a little bit of drama. And
oh boy.
Who are you hoping or expecting to win the Booker tonight?
Oh, it's such a tight race. They're all so good. I switch between Held, Orbital, and James every 10 minutes for the past week or so.
It is really tough to call.
I think I'm gonna say Held right now, but that might change.
Okay, and
that's your favorite.
No, I will say anything but Held. Say it a bit quietly, not too loudly in this venue. You don't know who's around, but I'm sorry to say it's just it's not a book for me. Although I was having interesting conversations with other readers when we went to the shortlist readings last night, and was chatting with other people in the queue as we were waiting for people to get our book signed, and a number of readers I was talking to that were big fans of it and said I only understood the book after I'd read it 3 times. Which is I can understand, because as I went back to it, I was seeing more details, and it's almost like an elaborate jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Where you just have to fit all the pieces together. And so, I mean, you know, I mean, some books, when I've like read them and reread them, like especially, I mean, even like The Waves by Virginia Woolf, which is my favorite novel of all time, but it took me like 3 times reading it before I felt like I really got it. So I understand that there's some books like that, but
I think Creation Lake is similar, but it's just more approachable.
yeah, where
It's the other one that
the immediate plot kind of
know,
seduces you in, and then like
really
there's
know what it's about?
loads of stuff about philosophy and Neanderthals, and so it's like tricksy in that way. So I don't know, we'll see. If it wins, maybe I'll give it another try, but
I'll read it with you. I'll read it again. We can
and we can have discussions about it. That would be really great and very helpful. But
what do you think's going to win?
I mean, I really can't decide on either
so
between
hard.
James or Stoner the Devotional are like my favorites to win. But I would be like perfectly happy if any of the others, except Then Beheld, won. I don't want to be like too like down on it. There's definitely like parts of it that like I understand are beautiful and really meaningful, but just like overall,
I would be happy though with any of the books. Like there's none that I would be like, this is really disappointing.
Yeah, which is great and like says a lot for the shortlist, and it's like they've like really picked really quality books this year, which is really wonderful to see. So it can be more just like about a celebration of literature than like competition or Okay, so we're gonna get back to the party and mingle a bit. But thank you. Cheers.
Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Booker Prize Ceremony 2024. I'm Samira Ahmed, presenter of Front Row on Radio 4. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Samira. Good evening, everyone. Oh, it's incredibly nice to see you all. So, the judges have made their decision, little regretfully, actually, because they didn't want to part company with any of these books. I hope you'll excuse me for speaking personally when I say that I'm fortunate enough to have come from a family where lives were spent helping others find something for themselves, and sometimes something of themselves in literature. And it's been very moving to me to sit amongst the Booker Prize judges as they've shown each other what they see in the incredible novels shortlisted this year. Percival, Everett. Samantha, Harvey. Kushner. Yael van der Wouden. And Charlotte Wood. I'd like to thank you, if this isn't too sumptuous, on behalf of your readers, for everything you've made us feel and think. Now, last year's winner, Paul Lynch, will tell you how his entire year has been derailed. Paul.
It's so lovely to be here again. It is a truth universally acknowledged that 90% of all novelists want to win the Booker Prize, and the other 10% are lying. Lonely is the writer's room, and so a novelist must be allowed to dream. And in truth, all writers must do the same thing. You fold your paper swan, place it on the river, and watch it go downstream. The winner, of course, a great door will open, and you will leap through. Everything will be changed utterly. A recent Booker winner emailed me a few weeks ago and said, "Nothing can possibly prepare you for what comes next. The day after winning last year, I was told the Booker Prize was in 3,000 pieces of media around the world. That same day, I did 25 interviews on 4 hours of sleep. And as the days and months fell away, I began to measure the year in interviews. At some point past 200, I stopped counting, and that was a long time ago. The winner is cautioned that there will be no writing for a year. Though speaking to previous winners, the likelihood is it may be longer. Your creative bandwidth will be shot, but you must consider this a sacrifice worth making. People will read your novel in extraordinary numbers, and they will stand in line for the longest time just to tell you how much your novel has meant to them. This is what the Booker Prize is about. Writing might begin as a lonely impulse, but a book is nothing without readers. Each year, the awarding of the Booker Prize brings together a worldwide community who believe in the revelatory power of fiction, and for that we should be glad. This past year has been for me an extraordinary privilege. I wish the shortlisted authors tonight the very best of luck. Thank you.
Would you give it tonight as an opinion? The two brothers from the tree.
Right. There's so many good.
It was my favorite thing that I saw at the festival. Yeah.
The trophy will be presented by last year's winner, Paul Lynch, and joining me on stage is this year's Chair of Judges, artist and writer Edmund Duval, who's going to say a few words before announcing the winner. Welcome, Edmund.
Thank you so much, Samira, and my goodness, what a beautiful privilege to be in your company tonight. This great commonwealth of reading that binds us together, this fierce and necessary work of the celebration of writing, this scrutiny of where fiction stands in our culture. You all know this is an unforgettable year for fiction. Pause for applause, I wrote. And with my truly wonderful fellow judges, Sarah, Yael, Justine and Nitin, we have shared books whose capaciousness and whose depth of thinking and heart have profoundly enriched us. And we haven't slept at all. And we are friends. There is a great collective act of making books happen in the world, beyond the writing, beyond the editing, the publishing, the reviewing and discussing in schools and libraries and colleges and bookshops and book groups everywhere online. And that's the extraordinary, the truly extraordinary act of passing on a book to someone else. You must read this. This will change your life. This will start you on a path. This will bring laughter, solace, recognition, connect you to a story you didn't know, ask questions, even help you find hope. This is our precious ecology of shared reading. This is what tonight is about. The listening to voice, the pacing of our breathing to someone else's breath. And this, finally, is where we back away, we fade. All the noise should fade. This is about writing fiction, not finding answers, not solving problems. There are far too many people in the world with unassailable answers. But changing the questions, not what you know, but what you need to explore. Tonight is a threshold hovering, not for long, I promise. Stay with me, recognizing that language is unsteady and unreliable and contingent and stubborn and cadenced, and that its beauty reflects an intensity of attention to lives, precious, precarious lives, and to the precious and precarious world we share. I am profoundly honoured to announce that the winner of the Booker Prize 2024 is Samantha Harvey for Orbital.
not expecting that. We were told that we weren't allowed to swear in our speech. So there goes my speech. It's just one swear word 150 times. Gosh, I have no idea how to deal with this. I have not expected it. I'm completely overwhelmed. I remember watching this last year when Paul won. Paul is a friend of mine, and I remember sitting in a hotel room I was due to be on the Today program, or start the week the next day, so I was in London, and Paul won, and I was just completely overwhelmed vicariously, and now here I am. I can't believe it. I have so many people I want to thank. I know I don't have very long. My amazing publisher Jonathan Cape, my wonderful agent Anna Weber, all the Booker judges, my family who have loved me and supported me all my life, my readers, the fellow shortlisted authors, thank you. I suppose it's fair to say that no Booker speech has ever been made in a perfect world, but it's hard to not acknowledge the imperfections of the world that we live in today. We are, as Carl Sagan says in his book Cosmos, the local embodiment of a consciousness grown to self-awareness. We are star stuff pondering the stars. And I would add that we are also earth stuff pondering the earth. And I think my novel is an exercise in that pondering. To look at the earth from space is a bit like a child looking into a mirror and realizing for the first time that the person in the mirror is herself. What we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. And what we do to life on earth, human and otherwise, we do to ourselves. Our loyalties, Sagan says, are to the species and to the planet. We need to speak for Earth, he says. I would like to dedicate this prize, therefore, to everybody who does speak for and not against the Earth, for and not against the dignity of other humans, other life, and all the people who speak for and call for and work for peace. This is for you. Thank you.
Samantha, we've only got a short time for a golf but I've got to ask you. You said on Front Row that you nearly gave up writing this. We are so glad you didn't, but tell us why you nearly gave up on writing Orbital.
Because I thought, why on earth would anybody want to hear from a woman at her desk in Wiltshire writing about space, imagining what it's like being in space when people have actually been there? And I lost my nerve with it. I thought, I don't have the authority to write this book.
Well, I also was reading it thinking your book takes us up into space, looking down on the swirl of weather forming across the oceans, while politicians right now are wrangling at COP29. So I guess I'm wondering if being up there changed you, because it certainly changed me.
I think it has. Well, this has changed me. Yes, the thousands of hours I spent looking at the Earth from space have, I think, profoundly changed me.
Thank you. Samantha Harvey, what can I say? Our revels now are ended. Congratulations again to Samantha Harvey, the winner of the 2024 Booker Prize for her novel, Orbital. Thank you all for sharing a wonderful night. We're back tomorrow at 7:15.
There we have it. The winner is Orbital. Yay, very exciting. I was quite surprised. Were you surprised?
Yeah, it wasn't what I predicted, so I was definitely surprised. Yeah.
I think, it was sort of like outside, expectations of a lot of people. But I'm very happy. It was such a beautiful novel, and probably one of the shortest books ever to win the prize.
Tiny.
Yeah, very short, so it won't be daunting for a lot of readers when you talk about and they often say, short books don't win the Booker Prize, but
They do sometimes, yeah.
And I think it's the first Booker winner to be set in outer space, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
But I want to read more by Samantha Harvey now.
Me
There's
too.
a couple other books. I think there's a book called The Western Wind or something that I've had on my shelf for ages, but I'm just not read yet.
So you've never read anything else by her?
No, yeah, this is the
Neither
first
have I.
thing. So, but yeah, such beautiful poetic writing, but also really meaningful as well. And we went to the readings yesterday. She recognized me when I went to get my book signed, and I felt oh, yay!
Eric's so famous. He is.
But she does. So yeah, this has been really lovely, wonderful evening.
Yes.
How did you find it?
No, I loved it.
stories?
I had a great time, and I'm really, really excited for Samantha Harvey because she's really, really nice. And I really loved Orbital. Even it wasn't what I predicted, but I really loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm happy I can see it as a Booker winner. So.
Yeah, and a really gracious, lovely speech, and yeah, it was just great.
And I liked what the chair judges said about it being a book that is very relevant now, but will also be relevant many years from now. And I agree with that.
Absolutely, yeah, it's totally true. Well, so the music is starting, and Samantha Harvey will hopefully start leading a conga line or something. So we're gonna go have another drink. But yeah, this has been great. All right. So there we have it, the end of the evening. A really lovely ceremony and result that was a surprise, but a delightful surprise. And it's always like going to the Oscars to me. I'm going to the Booker Prize because there were so many authors I recognized. I'm really excited to see Yael Lee and Alan Hollinghurst and Anna Burns. And I got to chat with Douglas Stewart for a little bit, and Eleanor Catton. Bernie and I had a chat with her for a while. So yeah, a really lovely, exciting event. And I'm on my way home now. Got given this lovely, cute tote bag as well. That has this cute design on the back as well. Now on the inside, everybody got a book to take away from the long list, and mine was Enlightenment, which wasn't my favorite book from the list. I really appreciated and enjoyed some aspects of it, but not all of it. But yeah, what a great evening, and had a lot of fun. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the winner. Have you read Orbital, or are you keen to read it now? Please let me know about that. But have a great evening, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.